How's it going, everyone? Nick here. Today we're going to talk about Legacies Season 3, Episode 13, titled One Day You'll Understand. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to say apologies for missing the last 2 weeks of uploads. Uh, it I was caught up in a thing. Uh, I was caught up with a bunch of stuff. One thing in particular, and it put Legacies on the accidental back burner. If I'm not mistaken, actually, one of the either last week or the week before, I woke up late, and so I just couldn't. And then I've just been all over the place. So I didn't want to upload. Because I've been watching them on Sundays. Now, of course, today's Saturday, but I've been watching it so late that it's just like it wasn't worth the upload. This is just kind of late, but not really. Anyway, let's get into the episode. As we learned in the previous episodes, the Landon we had was a golem, uh, created by Cleo. This episode we learn the wise. Anyway, as a result of the stuff that happened last episode, Landon is back. This episode we find, and also Finch is now part of the Salvatore School. Finch still reluctant. Let's talk about that first. Finch is still somewhat reluctant. She's not fully convinced. Josie goes to give her a tour. That tour is interrupted by her dad. Because he needs Josie's help with something that we'll get into in a moment. Josie being unable to just say the word girlfriend, kind of somewhat it hits Finch in a way that's weird, right? It's like, why are you so reluctant to just say the word? And so Josie has to leave her with the werewolves, and we will talk about what happens in a moment. Now, let's rewind. So Cleo is a bad guy, we think. Anyway, Caleb goes to try and figure out what's wrong under Alaric's orders, because not really orders. Alaric wants to know what's going on. He tries Caleb, right? She shows Caleb her story, at least the beginnings of it. She was kind of sort of kidnapped by Malavor. Apparently Malavor had went to her village and wanted to take the muse so that they can figure out a way to eliminate his hunger. It was originally going to be her grandmother, but she did muse magic to make it so it was her, to stop her grandmother from sacrificing herself, and went with Malavor herself. Malavor kept her alone, constantly making things, giving life to things, and then eating said things. And, of course, it messed her up in the head. Eventually, she created a vessel for him. This leads to This leads to her kind of sort of trapping him, and he swears vengeance on Cleo. Now, after this, Caleb, and Josie gets shown this, and of course, Alaric takes this, and he goes to question Cleo, why were you trying to kill Hope? Turns out, when she was released from the artifact, it was only because Hope made contact with the artifact. And she could only be released by the person who will kill Malavor. As we know, Hope is a tribrid of sorts. She's not like a fully realized tribrid. Like, not until she, dies. So Cleo came to kill Hope. To trigger her vampirism, Alaric's like, no, if Hope wants kids eventually, she should have that choice. And Cleo comes to the conclusion that yes, the sacrifice should be Hope's to make, and she'll stop trying to kill Hope. This, in turn, makes it so that Alaric doesn't like put her back in the artifact, which he just lets her go. He's like, okay, you're free to stay, you're free to leave, you do you. She chooses to leave, which disappoints Caleb because he had a question to ask her. Okay, I swear someone just passed by behind me in the camera, but there's no one in my room. Weird. Anyway, Caleb's disappointed. He wanted to ask her if her being into him was part of her cover or if it's a real thing. Now, Landon and Hope go to Mystic Falls High to get the artifact. On the way back, they get attacked by what seems to be Malevor's old vessel, but without the upper arms. There, they kill him. They kill the vessel thingy, and the artifact is destroyed. Now, afterwards, while Landon's sewing up his wound, honestly, I feel bad for Hope. Landon breaks up with Hope. And, of course, it's heartbreaking. Hope has lost literally everybody in her life except one aunt in Freya? Wait. Is Rebecca alive? I know Cole is alive. He's with Davina. But is Rebecca alive? You know what? I'm gonna look that up. Is Rebecca alive? Hold on. I know Freya's alive. Status undead. Wait. Okay, it looks like she lived at the end of originals. Okay, yeah. So Rebecca's alive, so she has two aunts left and an uncle who's kind of estranged from the family. Um but like she lost both her parents, right? And now she's losing her boyfriend essentially because he's breaking up with her because he considers the relationship doomed. He's the son of Malivore and she's meant to kill Malivore, essentially, because she is vampire werewolf witch. Although that begs the question, if she were to become a vampire, would she lose her witch powers? We never explored that with Klaus because he never learned to be a witch. But would Hope lose her powers? Anyway, of course, the episode ends with Cleo and Landon teaming up at a bus stop of all places, to kill Malivore, or at least to find a way to kill Malivore without killing Hope. Overall, I enjoyed the episode, but parts of it were just heartbreaking. Like, Hope did not deserve that. Hope is having a rough time of it now at this point, and at this point, I just want to see the next episode, see if she like can come back from this, right? Like, this girl had to watch her mother die, had to live past her father's death, and her father died to save her, and now what is essentially the love of her life broke up with her because being with her could kill him. Like, this should cause a very severe case of survivor's guilt. And I want to know if the writers do this right, or if they do it at all. Anyway, tell me what you guys thought of the episode down in the comment section down below. Apologies that it was late. Hopefully no more late videos of this type. Oh, and also Kung Fu has been dropped. I may continue it once it comes to Netflix. I may not. I don't know. Anyway, look forward to Black Lightning season finale. Or I guess technically that's Black Lightning everything up until the season finale. Flash and Supergirl for this week, as well as the next episode of Legacies, and Lucifer season 5 part B will come hopefully Friday night. It'll come Friday night, Saturday morning, one of the two. Anyway, that's gonna be it for this video. If you guys haven't already, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay bright. Apologies for the rambling at the end.